Hello and welcome. My name is Hannah, and earlier this week we sketched up these creatures together in a kind of a slower paced video, and today is going to be the day that we paint them up with ARRTX paint markers. And I have to admit, I was really nervous about starting this one this week because paint markers aren't really my strong suit if I'm not following a reference, so I was a little bit nervous to start, but I have to remember that this is all just for fun. Like, it's okay if these don't turn out perfect. So that was my goal for today, was to just have fun with this. Also, I had a bit of a side challenge for myself as I was painting these up, and it was to have all of them be a little bit different of a style. So I was gonna try different methods for every one, and I think some of them turn out really cool and some of them turn out not so cool. But that's okay, remember, because it's all for fun, and every time that you have fun, you're learning something in the process. I'll tell you right now, this one is my husband's very favorite one, and that's really exciting, but also it's the very first one. So not much to look forward to from here on out. I'll see you next week. But in all reality, this one was coming together very quickly, and I think that really surprised me because I'm used to slaving over my projects, which is always a labor of love. Now, I know I've already done one, but I want to take a step back and introduce these paint markers a little bit. These are ARRTX acrylic markers, and this is the 90B set. These were sent to me by ARRTX, so thank you ARRTX for sponsoring today's video. Also, I want to let you know that they are having a huge sale on Amazon Prime Day, which is going to be June 23rd through the 26th, and they're offering 20% off for US and Canada and 15% off discounts for UK and Europe. So mark your calendars because that is going to be a great deal. Now, I wanted to show you what I do for swatching because I need to have a swatch sheet. Even though I have like all of the colors right in front of me, for some reason if it's not on a paper, I can't think that way. And so I just use the sticker sheet as my swatch sheet, and it fits perfectly in the box. Okay, so now that we're on to the second creature, I wanted to share that if you want a solid base coat, go in 3 different layers, 3 different directions, and that really helps to not have lines. And this guy is just so precious to me. I love this one so much. This one and the next one are my 2 personal favorites, and also somehow the last one is a personal favorite, which really surprises me because that was the cursed one. But this guy was definitely turning into a magical forest creature. He lives in some kind of a land where all of the forestry is really prolific and colorful, not green everywhere, but maybe the leaves are like the same color as him, and he's really good at camouflage. And also he has like a million firefly best friends. I actually think that him and the next guy that I color up are in the same universe. And you might understand why when I start coloring up that next guy. But this guy, I think he turns out just really fluffy looking, and I wasn't anticipating that as I started, but the more that I colored him up, the more I fell in love with him. Initially, when I was drawing this guy, I had in my head that he would be a villain. But then when I drew his face, he just looked so sweet to me. And his childlike legs, how can you be a villain with childlike legs? But this guy definitely lives in the same universe as the other guy, and he turns out to be a leaf creature who is really good at making best friends. Now, he doesn't necessarily care if you're his friend or not. He treats you like you guys are best friends, right? He wants to play with you. He doesn't know if he's never seen you before in his life, but he's just always friendly. But I do get the sense that he does not talk very much. So he's much more of a listener, but like a very accepting person. Is he a person? Who knows? He has human features. Who am I kidding? He's not a human. If he was a human, he would be in very much pain because of that stance that he's in. But in his world, I imagine that he is the one who's kind of standing along the path, who is always eager to help you out when you're lost, and will guide you in the right direction, and will definitely give you a snack or two. Once I finished coloring him up, I decided that his shadows were not quite contrasty enough, so I went back in and darkened up his shadows a little bit, and then he is done. Now, every time that I looked back at this guy, he just didn't look finished, and I knew that he needed line art. I was avoiding line art for this guy because I used to do line art on all of my stuff a long time ago, and I could never get it to look the way that it looked in my head. But for some reason, when I did it on this guy, it turns out amazing. So I don't know exactly what the difference is between a long time ago and now, but yeah, love how that last guy turned out. Now we're on to the zombie creature. I'm going so fast here. This one, I went with this gray color because I thought it was a green color, but then I thought it would be fun to treat it like the light source was coming up from below. Like maybe he's walking over somebody's like front lawn where they have the lights that are in the ground. I thought that might be kind of fun, or like at least a fun challenge. And if the lights on the grass are on, that means that it's probably nighttime. So the rest of him needs to be darkened up by the nighttime lighting around him. So I decided to heighten the contrast, have it be really bright from below and really dark from above. My favorite thing on this whole guy is this squiggly line that I'm drawing on his back. Also, this is another one that I know that I want to do line art for, but I'm still a little bit apprehensive to do it, so I do line art, but not until I come back for it a little bit later. Now this next one, I was really proud of myself for going out of my comfort zone and trying a two-headed creature, but it's not my favorite, and I don't really know why. I think it might be because it's got so much going on. That's the only thing that I can really think of, but because I don't love it, I'm going to talk about something else. If you didn't watch the video where I sketched these up, I'm going to mention it again in case you're interested. I did do an outline of all of these creatures and kind of turned it into like a coloring page, and it's up for free for a digital download on my Ko-fi account, and I'll link it down below if that's something that is interesting to you, or maybe if you're really bored during the summer and just want to, shoot the breeze a little bit, we can do it together. But yeah, I guess I should talk about this guy a little bit because I am, spending time on him in the video. And okay, so one thing that I am really happy about design-wise for him was that one side had nails and the other side didn't. So I thought that was kind of a cool touch. See, there's something good that comes out of everything. You just have to look for it. Hey, remember at the beginning of the video I said that there were some that were a little bit not my favorite? Yeah, this is one of them. So when I sketched this one out, it was a situation where I really wanted to color it up with colored pencil, but then I was like, no, I need to do this with paint markers. So I think that it was kind of like a self-sabotage type situation where I wanted so badly to do it with colored pencil. So I went very minimal with the paint markers so that I could use colored pencil with it. So I ended up doing colored pencil line art, which was okay, but over it, I was noticing that the colored pencil didn't want to really stick to the paint marker. It was a little bit like, it was a weird texture. They don't really want to vibe too well. So I wanted to see kind of what I could do with that, kind of use that to my advantage. So I ended up going over it with colored pencil, and I thought at the time that it looked really cool because it made it look like a statue. It gave it like a cement type effect. But yeah, I think this was one where in the moment it was more of an experimental one rather than making it look really cool. So also it ended up looking like Earth. This next creature turned out to be one of my favorites, and I'm not really sure why that is. I think that it was just that I had such low expectations of it that I didn't really care about this one at all. So then when I started coloring it up, I actually started to care a little bit about it. Isn't that funny? So this is a baby frog type creature where the legs are arms and feet. And the arms don't really have too long of arms and it's all hands. And he's looking up and he just really wants to be held. And I think it's kind of funny to look over this as I'm editing because sometimes the position of my hand as I'm coloring him up looks like he's looking at my hand saying, please hold me. So I also really like his colors, and I don't think that this is a color that I typically would have chosen. Purple isn't one of my go-to colors, but I like that I was forced to use it because that was the color that I chose for the colored pencil. Also, one foot, as I lined it up, I lost a toe, so one foot has 4 toes, and then the other foot has 5 toes. But then I ended up giving him eyelashes, and this is the fine liner that I was using. But now that the whole spread is done, I feel confident enough with my lining abilities to go back over the other ones and add in some lining where I think it would benefit. This is how the whole spread turned out, and I think each and every one of these turns out really cool in their own way. I really like that they all have different styles. I think that by doing it this way, it became a lot more fun to experiment with these markers and try to find the fun in using a product that you maybe don't feel so comfortable with. So thank you so much for sticking around. I will see you in the next one. Toodaloo!